Oh boy, we had a lot of people escape last week. Yeah, escape the plantation. And some folks is in big trouble as a result, especially those in the mass media. What they showed us who are free thinking and objective is mass media can't be trusted. They can't be trusted. We're gonna stop listening to them altogether because they jacked up. The pollsters, they can't be trusted. Mass media can't be trusted. These crazy politicians who want to constantly cast pejoratives at other people just for having an opposing point of view. None of these people can be trusted, man. They all lied to us. They cheat. They yelled at us. They called us Hitler's, Nazis, Nazi sympathizers, fascists. White supremacists, racists, misogynists. They threw everything at us free thinking, man. And yet, the majority of the American people said, we want no parts of the plantation, baby. We're getting up out of here. And guess what happened? That's exactly what happened, man. We had a lot of people leaving the plantation. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this book. In this book, revealed the archetypes of American politics. I actually go through Malcolm X's message to the grassroots that he gave in 1963. And in Malcolm X's message, he made sure that we understood that there was a lot of the overlay, if you will, analogous overlay of plantation, the sort of interdynamics of plantation living that has now been overlaid onto all of America. What he helped us to understand is that when you actually take the analogy of the overlord and you begin to see that there's mass media, there's academia, there's faith leaders, quote unquote, and all of these that are sort of trying to manage things, trying to manage the society and culture, and take us in a particular direction. They can be construed as overlords. In other words, they're the overseers, they're the ones that are incentivized to try to bring about rapid change in America. He says, then you have the House Negroes. And House Negroes are the ones who actually do the bidding of the overlord. And he said, look, those are the ones who, they will give up their principles, their morals, their faith foundations, and everything just to make sure that they fulfill every demand of the overlords. So in that case, he says, look, these are people that again they're working in media. These are the people that will say and do anything to try to get you to conform to the collective. And the collective is going in one direction. And that direction is primarily leftist Marxists. Then he says you have your field Negroes. He characterized himself as a field Negro. He said, field Negroes like me, and Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and so many of the others that were on the plantation but escaped toward freedom. He says that the thing that characterizes us is we just want to be free. We don't want your authoritarian rules. We don't want to be put in a box because of our skin color. We don't want you to demand that we vote a particular way or see the world in a particular way because we're on the plantation, so we got to see it in the way that you see it. No, 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 no. We want to be free of all that. And so we're just going to escape. So when we had our last election, just recent election, we saw millions of people escape the plantation thinking. It was beautiful. Because now people are realizing, well, yeah, for generations, our family always voted in this particular way. We didn't really need to. As a matter of fact, probably for the past generation or two, the party that we were so committed to were disingenuous. They were misleading us. They were lying to us. And, in this particular election, we took the step to do something different and we made a different choice. No problem. We saw black men in record numbers actually vote for Trump. Huge, huge numbers. We saw Latino men in record numbers, men and women actually in the Latino side, who made significant charge towards Trump. And away from the whole Democrat, ideology and the Democrat plantation thinking. So we saw a lot of people push and move towards freedom. And that should be something we should all be able to be happy about. We should all be able to rally around and say, yeah, we actually, saw some things happen. Now, some people would say, well, you saying y'all moving towards freedom, well, how is that? Well, here's some things that are happening immediately. Day one, President Trump said, look, we're going to get rid of, we're going to start deporting people. Those people that have come over our borders, not supposed to be here, no work permits or anything like that, but they're here and they're taking your sons and daughters their first jobs at some of these fast food restaurants and the other places. Yeah, those people, we're gonna get rid of them. And so now, what freedom means for your family is your children will be able to get their first job again. And in a lot of these areas, these first jobs are paying up to $20 an hour. That's big. That's big. So we'll see that as a one data point of freedom that will happen immediately. The other thing he said that he's going to do day one is he is going to make sure to get your children free from the indoctrination mills within the public education system. He is going to completely dismantle the Department of Education out of Washington, D.C. Now, there's tremendous amount of funding and buildings and personnel in the Department of Education. Gone, day one, and he is putting it back in the states. He's putting the funds back in the states, and the states will take responsibility for educating the children within the state. That's the way it should be. At least it's closer to home. And now you can monitor and manage and make sure that you vote for people in your local community that's going to have a profound impact on your child's ability to learn within your state. So right now, it's so disconnected in the sense that you have a bunch of Washington bureaucrats running the Department of Education and proliferating education across all 50 states. And this is ridiculous. And it should have been reorganized years ago, generations ago. But he'll be doing that at the very least. What that means for you and your family and freedom is your children now will not be restricted to, use proper pronouns when addressing their teacher, proper pronouns when addressing a classmate. They won't be influenced in their own mind about who they are and how God made them. They won't have this aggressive sex education type curriculum that they have to deal with. They won't be Marxified. They won't have these Marxist ideas that are coming down at their level and trying to get them in touch with their emotions and ruled by their emotions. They'll have more logic, critical thinking, and other types of training that will prepare them for the real world. It's a wonderful thing. So that's the way that freedom will work. Lastly, we're going to see freedom on all our social media platforms. He says he is going to make sure to clamp down on all social media platforms, whereby if they like this video, for instance, if they were to try to deplatform it, shadow ban it, demonetize it, anything like that to constrict free speech, that these platforms will be paying massive fines, and some of the folks who are running the platform could be subject to jail time. This is massive. It's huge, and it is going to set us free. Anybody and everybody knows, because we learned during times of slavery, that once you restrict somebody's speech, you restrict their freedom. In other words, you can literally re-enslave people by virtue of clamping down or preventing their ability to speak freely. Yeah, that's how it happens. So we are all being set free right now, whether you voted for him or not. Fine. The election's behind us. It was a massive landslide, and I think a massive win for all Americans. Bottom line is, though, is you will be able to reap the benefits. You and your family will be able to endure freedom in ways that we haven't seen probably in a very, very long time, probably in many generations. So this is a time for celebration. Freedom is here. This is the unleashing of the pathology of the field Negro. All of us who want to be free, we wanted to be free of all of these authoritarian, totalitarian mandates and rules and structures that were put around our organizations and around school districts and around our federal government. Gone, which means we can have maximum freedom. So it's a wonderful time to celebrate. And I hope and I pray that you will celebrate with all of the rest of us because this is a glorious time in America. Now, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of secretaries that need to be named. There's a lot of things, a lot of pieces that have to fall into place. More legislation, more executive orders, all kinds of things that go along with this. But the bottom line is we are moving toward freedom. And that's the purpose of this channel. Again, purpose of this channel, the name of the channel is, the name of the channel, as you know, is it's actually taking us towards freedom. It's off the plantation, the journey toward freedom. And so we should all be celebrating together, especially on this channel. If you're here, you must know what we're all about. We're getting off the plantation. We're getting off the mandates. We're getting off of the structures, and we're moving towards freedom. And we're doing it by virtue of our past election, and that is setting a lot of us free. So we have a lot to be thankful for. We thank God for what happened in this past election. All right. So listen, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is very, very important. In order for us to learn and grow together, in order for us to exercise freedom together and to recognize freedom together, we must stay plugged into this community and let's grow it, okay? Please make sure all your friends, family, neighbors, everybody understands that they should subscribe to this channel. Take this video and spread it about, man. Let's go viral. All right. God bless you. I'm seeing you next time in our journey towards freedom. God bless, baby.